Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Cal Royal number DV90 US26D. This is a satin chrome finish door viewer with a 160-degree lens. This is what's considered, to me, the small one, meaning it's not only physically small, smaller than others, but it requires a half-inch hole. So half-inch hole in the door, to me, stands for the standard residential type. It's very common that people use larger ones that require a 9/16 hole, but the standard one, or the small one, that takes a half-inch hole. Okay. The DV90 is available in different finishes. This is the US26D finish, and that's going to give you a reference to the finish on the bezel on the exterior, and obviously a matching view on the inside of what you'll see. Different finishes: US10B for oil rubbed bronze, US15, I'm looking at a chart, US15 for satin nickel, US26 for polished chrome, then again the 26D that we have in my hand, the US3 for polished brass, and then US5 for antique brass. They say that this is compatible or will work with doors that are up to 2-inch thick, and when I pretty much extend it all the way out, it'll get well past 2-inch. So I would say that you could arguably use this on a door that's 2 1/4 inch thick as well. This is not UL listed, so be mindful of that, should your application require UL listing on the individual constituent parts. They say that it'll go down to a door that's 1 3/8 thick, and let's take a look at that as well. Yeah, that would be no problem to get it down to an 1 3/8 thick door, just under that. Again, a half-inch hole. Dimension on the outside of the unit itself looks like it's just heavy on 5/8. The interior portion looks like it's closer to just shy on 5/8 of an inch. Okay. There is a link below this video to a document called Cut Sheet that will allow us to review all of the dimensional properties of the item. This is a plastic lens, but will still permit a very reasonable image quality. 160-degree field of view, and that 160-degree field of view is synonymous with the small one. You can get larger degrees of view as well. There is also a link below this video to a document called Product Catalog, which is going to be the section of the manufacturer's catalog that will have accessory hardware like this. And the reason that document is important is because it will draw attention to the other door viewers that are available. If you're looking for one that can incorporate a door viewer cover, a hinged slide cover, you can obtain that compatibly with this model. It would be the COV160 is the cover you would use, and that cover would just install underside the head of the unit, and then you'd rotate it down to close off someone from the inside, at least being able to look in and see if there is not only any shadows, naturally, but it's also an indicator of whether or not tampering's been done, because you're not going to fit that cover over the exterior of this if this were to be turned around, so to speak. Okay. Very handy document that's there. Now, installing this, the standard height's going to be 60-inch off of the floor. That would be from the finished floor to the center of the prep. You can put it anywhere you like if it's for your own personal use. If it's handicap require installation that you are working in, you'd be at 48-inch from the floor to the center line. But again, you can install this wherever you like. Installing this obviously will take that half-inch hole through the door, but be careful when you're drilling it, because there's not a lot of trim that's on either side of this. You don't want to just take a half-inch bit and just push through the door. You might want to be quite delicate, in fact, about doing that. If it's a metal door, probably not so bad in terms of the risk for potential damage, but as you go through a door, and especially as you exit the other side, you have a tendency to take that fibrous material and explode it out. So what I like to do is, well, a couple of different ways. Having lots of experience doing it, I probably would take my 1/8 inch bit and drill straight right through the door so that I am marked on either end, and then I will go halfway through the door on either side with my larger bit and be done with it. One thing that I kind of like to do is to, depending on the bit that I'm using, but possibly rotate it counterclockwise so that I can score the face of the wood door so that I don't tear the veneer out and then drill into it. They make some butterfly bits that have those scoring wings on them, and those are good. They, you know, nice, slow, controlled motion on using those, and they work just fine. If you are going to measure and then mark your door on both sides, which is certainly advisable, be mindful whether or not you're dealing with a square door or a beveled door, because where you hook your tape measure on, let's say, the exterior, which would be the smaller side if it's swung in, if it's a beveled door, where you put your tape measure and go over to halfway, you know, in the door width, and you go to the opposite side of the door, that hole's going to be off a little bit, because that bevel is going to give you a dimension that's very likely going to be, you know, almost 1/8 of an inch different. So, which is why I will drill a straight hole through the door. Obviously, if you're doing the doors or prepping the doors while they're flat, it's much easier, especially if you have equipment that's helping you do it. So, you know, keep in mind what you're hooking your tape measure onto, and inspect the styles of the door to ensure that they're beveled or if they're square, so that you can get a proper hole through the door. You really don't want to drill it even 1/8 of an inch off, because there's really no margin to try to install this with an ovalized hole, and then it won't sit down flush on the face of the door, so keep that all in mind. Finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Cal Royal products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Any questions on the Cal Royal, this is their part number DV90 in a US26D finish, or any other Cal Royal product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.